Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing my review for the Volume 7 premiere of RWBY, The Greatest Kingdom. It's great to be back for this. For anyone who only checks out my channel during like this specific time of the year, welcome back. Also, sorry this review is super late. I do not have my laptop right now, so reviews to like a lot of stuff has just been like on hold pretty much. And also this volume actually premiered the weekend I was at an anime convention, and normally I'd say the volume premieres almost like a month earlier. I think this is the first time it's ever premiered so late because I'm always like at least like 2 or 3 episodes in by the time I get to my anime convention. You can go through like, years and years ago. I've done so many it'd be like one review per volume would just be me sitting in my car because I'm like, I'm at an anime convention. But this time it didn't premiere until the end of November. So I thought that was it, or end of October, beginning of November. So that was interesting. I was like, man, it's normally, a few episodes in by then. But it was cool. It took me like 30 minutes to watch the episode the first time because the internet was so crappy and I was watching it like on my phone. But I've seen it like a million times now. Finally getting to do my review. It's playing right now, so you notice like a bunch of random colors flashing, especially by the time we get to the end of the episode. But it was a really good premiere. I really enjoyed it. There's probably like 5. There's more than 5 things. There's like a couple of grand things as far as this episode to talk about. Some stuff was in the episode. Some stuff was definitely in that opening. They revealed quite a bit in that opening, I think. But first off, of course, Crow, new voice actor. I thought he did fine. I want to see him talk more because we didn't really get a lot of different variations on like what's happening. It was pretty much everyone had like the same tone throughout the whole episode. It was kind of just like, man, things are kind of grim. No pun intended. But things are kind of dark here. Like this city sucks, and we don't know what to do. Like we don't know who we can really trust and things like that. So everyone kind of had the same sort of tone. So I want to see him in situations where he's really freaked out. Him being monotone is kind of just Crow, so regardless of the voice actor. And plus, they did get someone that admittedly does sound kind of similar. So I am curious to see how things will go. I think I'll be fine with it. It'll just be one of those weird things. It'll be much harder transition from with Crow than it was like with Mercury, because it was like, oh, one season is this dude, and then poof, they just brought in Sasuke. I still don't know why they did that. I thought the guy who did Mercury the first time was perfectly fine. I have nothing against Yuri Lowenthal. He plays Sasuke and Spider-Man and like a million other people as well. But either way, thought it was fine. The other big thing, naturally, Penny has returned. Penny is alive. That was the big theory. She's a robot. She could probably come back. Will she come back the same? Will she come back with memories, without memories? I thought it was great. I prefer that she has her memories. I saw some comments where people mentioned like it would be more impactful if she didn't have her memories and then they'd have to kind of rebuild their relationship. And I'm like, that would just be them treading water again. Like it would be the exact same thing. It's not like anything would be different. It would just be them being like, oh, we knew you like this. And then she's just like, oh, I didn't know that. And so it's like, I feel like it would have just been a waste of time to have her not have her memories. I feel like it's more entertaining to have her keep her memories because she knows what the characters are like. And then it allows for her to comment on how different they are now compared to what they were before. Because, well, she would probably know this, but she, of course, died before Period did. So there's different dynamics there. And if she didn't know any of that stuff, it would just be like, oh, well, she's just hearing the story about what happened and it means nothing to her. So I personally think it's a lot better that they brought her back with her memories. So I was happy about that. Plus the outfit I think looks great. I actually do like this outfit better than her previous one. I think it's really cool. I like the long hair. She's got like the lasers going like down her leg. I thought that looked really cool. And she's got the jet boots and stuff. It looks great. It's really cool. It's almost like it's like a German Victorian robotic sort of look. I think it looks great. I thought it was really cool. So really enjoyed that. The intro, of course, super fantastic. Love the song. Still not my favorite song. Still really good. It's definitely up there. I think it's probably in the top 3. But man, the animation wise, I think this is like our number 1 intro. I think it was the best one that we've had. They had all the 2D smoke animations and the flame animations and stuff. And I noticed they were putting that in there a little bit. Like during the fight with Adam in the last volume, like when he drops into the water and stuff, it's like a 2D splash. And I was like, okay, the water's 2D and they're doing some new effects here. And you can see like in full display in like the action scenes here, as well as just the whole intro. I love what they did, especially the ending, how they do, I think it's like in 2 separate parts, they do like a frame rate drop, so it's like a bit choppier. I thought that was a really cool like stylistic choice. I was like, that's actually very sweet. I just like that idea. So love what they did with that. In said intro, aside from animation and epic music, there's one particular scene that I really loved, and that was Jean with his shield, because they showed like this really quick moment. And we've seen it before. They've said his semblances in there. And I think it was during that scene when he was training at nighttime and he had like, it was almost like he did like a wind swipe or something, and like the grass blew and stuff like that. They have a scene with his shield, and it was really obvious in this because it was like his shield turned. It didn't turn blue, but it almost had like an after image type of deal. So either that's gonna end up being his aura, where he can basically project. And see, that's the hard thing because it's like he already technically can project his aura to other people, but it could be that he's doing that on actual items, and so it allows for it to kind of almost like expand using magic. But like he was using his shield, and there was like a blue wave kind of on each side of the shield as he was moving. They didn't show it on the sword though, and that could just be for the fact that they wanted it to be like a split second, like boom, there's that little hint. So I think that's going to end up being a semblance where it's, I don't know how to explain it because it's like he's already projecting his aura, so it could easily be the same thing, but his aura is white, and that was specifically, it was like a blue. It was almost like a light blue color. It was almost the same blue as Nora's new color for her outfit, or one of the new colors. So I was like, all right, that was specific. It wasn't like white like his aura has been. It was specifically blue. He moved the shield, and like there was like a little blue after image of the shield for like a split second. And I was like, okay, I think that might be his thing. Of course, John also has a new outfit as well. Everyone seems to get new outfits in this, which is great. Even Crow, which one of my favorite comments I read was someone was like, wow, even Crow gets a new outfit. He's been wearing the same thing since he was in Beacon Academy, which is true. So I thought that was hilarious. But that scene with John, I was like, okay, probably going to have to wait till like the middle of the season before we get an official, look at that. But I was like, all right, that we might finally get an official definition of what the heck his semblance truly is. Because him being able to, project his aura is just him having an abundance of aura. But his semblance is something else, which they said we've seen before. And I think it has to do, like I said, with that training when he, like he can project something. But at the same, it feels like he would just be projecting his aura. So they have to find a way to define that, where it's like, it's not him projecting his aura through his weapons and stuff. It's something else. So I don't know. We'll see how that ends up playing out. But I thought that was a great little moment. The other moment that was probably my favorite, even more so than John's, was the scene with Crow versus Tyrion, as well as the very attractive woman who's running for election. I don't know her name right now, but I like her. She seems cool and interesting, and I want to know her story. Obviously, she's going to be important. I don't know if she's going to have an actual connection to Crow or anything. Like, obviously, they put them in that scene. They could easily just meet in this volume, and that's all there is to it. But I don't know. It would be cool if she knew who Crow was, at least in some regard. I feel like a lot of people might. But it wouldn't surprise me if bringing her into the fold, especially considering she ends up going against Tyrion, that she knows some extra stuff as well. So she's probably kind of been in that fold for a little bit. Maybe she left and was like, look, things are effing insane, kind of like Raven, but she wants to help at least. Raven just kind of took off. In this case, she's like, all right, I want to leave, but I'm at least going to leave and kind of try to help the place that I come from. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with that. But love the opening, loved all the little hints and stuff. Of course, we have this new team, Clover. One of them is evil. Maybe all of them are evil. Who knows? My suspicions, of course, go straight towards the dude. Like, if you watch the intro, it's the dude on the left who just looks like the creepy guy. Probably won't actually be him. It'll probably be someone else. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, all right, I know the different personalities. So it's like, you got a 5-man squad, which is kind of cool. I like that idea. They put that in there for the first time. And it's like, all right, we have this, Team Clover. I would assume that that's what it is. I mean, they showed the Clover when they picked it up. I was like, I'm going to assume they're Clover. I don't look into anything because I like to just have my speculation. So that's probably super obvious, but I assume that they're called Team Clover. So I'm excited to see them, see what they can do in their fighting and stuff. They may have been the people in the trailer, but it didn't look like them. I'd have to go back and watch the trailer, but I'm excited. It was a really good opening. We got to see a lot of cool stuff, including the crazy Dust Grim that was actually in the promo is also in the intro. So that should be cool. I'm assuming that's going to be a pretty big deal, but I'm looking forward to that fight. Looking forward to everything they showed off in this opening. But the episode itself, definitely entertaining. We meet Penny's father. He is the guy who made, Yang's arm. He made Penny. He doing a bunch of other stuff to help out, with the city. He even goes to the slums and stuff and helps other people out. So I thought that was cool. We don't know what's going on with Winter. She's kind of in full-on military mode, which has kind of always been her thing, admittedly, but it'll be cool to see how that plays out. I like her scene in the intro as well with her and Weiss because she has that stern look, but when she looks at Weiss, she smiles. I was like, okay, she will be on their side. At least that's what that kind of shows. At the very least, she'll be helping out Weiss. So I thought that was cool. I can't wait to see what we get with the rest of the Schnee family. We have the crazy father, crazy son. I don't know, that kid looks like he'll be a serial killer at some point. We may or may not get her mom. I highly doubt it, but that would be interesting. It would also be crazy if the woman that was running for election was actually Weiss's mom. I highly doubt that's the case because those posters were all over the place and she'd have been like, oh, that's my mom. But that would be funny. It was like she's a recovering alcoholic and she's like one of the good guys now. I highly doubt that would be the case, but it would be pretty interesting if that ended up, being what happened. I just doubt it, but that would be cool. Whole episode was entertaining though. Like I said, the big thing was, of course, Penny's alive. We meet her dad. That's kind of it. They get captured at the end, which we already knew was going to happen. If you saw the trailer, at least you knew that was going to happen. I will say they had a really interesting moment where during that specific scene, Ren was the only person that noticed. He was in like, I consider this to be like full Neji mode for anyone who doesn't watch Naruto. Super quick explanation. The character Neji in that series has this thing where I'll just explain it in RWBY terms. His aura was always projecting so that he could sense everything around him in 360 degrees. And we've seen, Ren's semblance before. And I thought, well, his semblance is different than like him being able to sense stuff because his semblance is him being able to vanish. But him sensing other stuff is different, which I think is very cool. It's kind of like Jean with his aura and his semblance. So I thought that was cool. And it was like, they do like this super slow motion thing. Like they take a step and I don't think it was even Ren's foot. I think it was like Ruby's foot or something. And then Ren like turns around, but they get captured anyway. And I was like, that was super cool. And I feel like that will come back into play later in the volume because I was like, that's such a specific thing to do when it could have just been nobody noticed. Or if it was Crow, it would have been like, okay, he's the adult. He's the most, like it makes sense that he would be the one to catch that before anyone else, just a little bit too late. So that was interesting. I was like, all right, they specifically showed Ren as the only person that was like, he took that little step, which like I said, I don't know if that was his foot or not because I've never looked at the dude's feet. It was like a red and black shoe. That's why I said Ruby. But we see like one step and then he's about to turn, but then they all get captured. I was like, that's so insanely specific to have it be Ren. So I don't know what that means, what we're going to end up seeing, later in the volume or anything like that. But that should be interesting. I don't know if that means he has some weird connection to someone else or, whatever. But I was like, that was too specific to just be like, oh, yeah, Ren senses people. Like, it was so specific. And maybe that was just a thing. Like, but I feel like they showed it again and be like, hey, remember how he could sense the thing, which the name, I can never pronounce the name unless I read it. But, the crazy creature that, like, killed his family. I was like, remember how he could sense that? And they kind of brought it back again, which means it's going to play a part. At least it should. I mean, when you do stuff like that, it's Chekhov's gun. Like, you show this specific thing because you're about to do something with that later. So that should be interesting. I don't know how big of a deal it's going to be, but I feel like it's going to be important. So looking forward to that. Like I said, the episode was really entertaining. They get captured. I'm excited to watch episode 2. Also, at the end of the intro, they have the spear, which is one of the other magical items. I forgot what they actually call it. The relics, one of the relics. So I was like, okay, obviously that's going to come into play, which isn't that much of a surprise. I mean, that's kind of been, once the relics were introduced, it was like, okay, here's the series, get the relics. Who knows what that actually means, because it's like, I don't think that, these gods who were like, gather these up and we'll come back and check you guys out. I don't think it's the time to bring them back because they probably won't be happy. Like, I think I don't know if I mentioned that in my review anytime last volume, but I was like, I don't think they should collect those because the earth is kind of shit, right? Well, the world of Remnant is kind of shit right now. And I don't think any gods are going to be like, you guys did it right. They're going to kill them if they come back. That's just my opinion because I'm like, things suck. But we'll see what happens with the volume. Very excited to get through this one. One of the big things I'm looking forward to is definitely Weiss. Like, anything with her and her family, I think is going to be the coolest stuff. Yeah, maybe it was Ren's foot. I can't tell. Like, the scene is going on right now. So maybe it was Ren's foot. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see how things play out. I think the heroes will stay heroes. I don't think there's going to be any big twists where it's like, oh, what's going to happen with Ironwood and stuff like that. I think it'll be fine. I think he's just stressed, but I think he's still going to be the good guy. Like, I don't think there's any issues with that. The main problem is what's going to happen with, Weiss's family being involved, and also this whole Team Clover thing, one of them, or possibly all of them, being secret agents. So we'll have to see about that. And we still have a few members missing. We still don't know exactly who is and is not a part of, Salem's team, because they never revealed those extra couple of seats. I think they're like maybe 3 or 4. I always thought Weiss's dad was on there. And when they showed the scene, and I can't remember the guy's name, but they showed the mustache, I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, wait, no, his hair is all white. Like, so that was the other dude. But it'll be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised. It would be crazy if it wouldn't be that crazy. But what if they were brothers? He just had white hair, like they just do the full anime thing. It was like, yeah, we're twins, but he got mom's hair, I got dad's hair, and that was it. That would not surprise me because they do kind of look similar when you think about it. So if they ended up being twins, I'd be like, that makes sense. Just saying, that's a random theory. I don't think that'll be true, but I wouldn't be super shocked. But those are my thoughts on the Volume 7 premiere. Of course, would love to know what you guys thought about it. Love this freaking intro. Also, super random, Jean's new costume. At first when I saw the clips, I hated it. I hated his hair. It's like everybody. But when I saw it in motion, even though it was for like a split second, I was like, okay, it's all right. It's all right. We'll see how I feel when they actually show it in the episode. But when I saw the stills of it, I was like, But seeing it in motion, I was like, okay, it's cool. So that's my thought on that for now. We'll see what happens. If he cuts his hair in the next episode and I see it in motion, I'm just like, I can't look at that. I'll let you guys know in my next review. But for now, enjoyed this first episode. Excited to know Team Clover. I'm curious to see how that ends up playing out and just how fast things are really going to be moving for this volume. But all in all, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad that the show is freaking back. I love Weiss's outfit, by the way. It's just so perfect. It's the best thing ever. Naturally, want to know what you guys thought about this premiere, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. Of course, theories for the new volume, thoughts on the new costumes, naturally. The stuff with Jean, the little thing with the shield. What are your thoughts on that? I would love to know your theories on that. And just everything that's going on. What will happen, what won't happen, who will live, who will die. Will there be a purpose to showing certain villains? Because they did some crappy stuff with Adam where it was like, oh, he popped up like 3 times and then he died. Who knows what will happen? Like, we have Cinder, we have Neo. I hope it's good. We also have Salem doing her Wicked Witch thing. We'll see what happens. But like I said, want to know what you guys think about it, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.